making a DC game. Let's fucking go. Thanks everybody, and peace out. Welcome to another live stream, guys. I'm your host, TeladiaPlays. And before we start, guys, I gotta bring on my co-host at the time. So let's bring on Comics League. Alright, where's its intro? There it is.
We are live.
Yes. Nintendo ad.
That's why I have YouTube Premium. It skips all the ads.
Yeah, by the way, guys, sorry I'm a little bit late. I was having a bit of a stomach upset, so that is the reason why I'm a little bit late. A hella late, I should say. Anyway, we're here to talk about the rumor of the Superman game, and we're gonna have a discussion about it. And you know, um, obviously, Jared, I made a video about this. We talked about it last week on your show, but we're here to kind of discuss and what could be the possibilities of the outcome could be if this game rumor is true, and the updates for it. If WB Games put their head straight and said, look, we're gonna announce it, like what universe could it be in? So we're gonna be discussing all of that. But Jared, how you been anyway?
I've been doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. I've been very, very excited to talk about different things. And this whole rumor and everything was just like my first topic just to make a video on, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a great topic.
yeah, so let's dive into it, shall we? Let me just make sure I post a tweet. There we go. Um anyway, all right, so if you remember, let me get the tweet up. Um, where is it? Let me get the tweet. Right, this is the tweet. Okay. Let me screen share. 1 second. Screen share. All right. So this is coming from Fortress of DC over on Twitter, and they are saying that they're ready to give information a little early. They have confirmed that their sources at WB Games Montreal, the developers behind Arkham Origins and Gotham Knights, are developing a Superman game. They go over the details, saying that they've seen an early model of Superman flying over a city. We assume Metropolis, model of alien creatures and robots. We don't know whether it's located in the Gotham Knights universe or in a new universe or a DCU. So Jared, let's talk about that, right? If I was WB Games, right? What Where would I place this Superman game?
What do you mean? Where would you place it?
Like in the universe, like think about it, right?
Uh,
Would you place it in the DCU? Would you place it in the Gotham Knights universe? The
Here's the
Arkham?
thing. Did the rumor mention how long this game was in development for?
No, but the person who tweeted this out, I actually asked him how long it's been in development, and he says from 2019.
Because I'm trying to think. Could it? I mean, they could release it as part of like a marketing thing for Superman, but again, that gets into my whole. No one's going to no one that that he's catering to two very disparate audiences with this.
Yeah, but it's obviously, if you guys got any questions, make sure you guys put them in the chat. We can always ask those questions for you. But anyway, in regards to like, this rumor, I think it's going to be set in the DCU. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because there's no way David Zaslav is going to say no. I'm not going to, double down on the universe and Lucifer. No,
What's up, Christopher? No,
no. You see what he
no,
just?
no. Yes, do
No,
that. Do that. Smash the
yeah.
like button. Definitely do
Right.
that. Do not turn this into a Lois Lane fan club.
Yeah. He goes, "Hi, I love you guys." All right,
Love
but
you too,
yeah,
dude.
like, but yeah, when it comes down to James, when it comes down to WBD, I can see them marketing it around the Superman movie. You know, maybe they'll announce it at the end of this year. And say like, what, well, they'll do something for around the movie because if you think about it, yes, we haven't got a suit reveal yet, but logically, you know, it'd be smart of James Gunn to reveal the suit in June, and then by the end of the year, it'd be like, okay, but we got a game coming out, a year or two later, and this could be part of this universe, right?
Yeah, you could.
I mean,
Uh,
it's
but the other thing is, let's treat this rumor like it's true. I highly doubt that they are going to make this part of the Arkham verse, even if they bring back the Justice League, because
yeah,
that brand right now, until we get like a Justice League co-op game, that brand is tarnished.
yeah, that brand is tarnished. When it comes down to you know, them going in, I mean, it could be in the Gotham Knights universe too, but that's a big doubt as well
Mm-hmm.
because the employees that worked on Gotham Knights, um, then you know, then if they because they're not there, it makes no logical sense for them to select that universe.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy says, as long as there's no trunks, I don't care.
I mean,
Um,
if they have like a costume selection, that really doesn't matter.
no. Um, Also, in the tweet, it goes on to state. Let me go here. Recall that James Gunn said early in January 2023, um, there will be games set in the DCU. The game is expected to release in 2026, 2027. Open world Metropolis with Superman as the only playable character and protagonist. That was on April 10th. But would you believe, 23 hours ago, he says, as we said in another post, if we could share everything, we would, but we simply can't. We can't rat out our informant. It's not fair. We can't
Mm-hmm.
do that. We can't do that to him. You're free to believe us or not.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And there's a lot of rumors passing around the internet. And now the question is, hey, what's up, Max? Now the question is, Teladia,
Mhm.
real quick, is this guy reliable?
Now, I don't know, right?
The reason why I asked that is because I could go out and say, hey, I have a Warner Brothers source that's saying that Lois Lane sucks. That she does, but that's besides the point of this analogy.
But it's one person has actually called him out and for another rumor and said, look, don't trust him on that rumor, but nobody has called him out for this rumor. I do know that um Casey Walsh from Geeks Worldwide has actually also stated that there is a game in development.
Okay, so if this is being like corroborated by other let's call them leakers. Okay, I
Yeah,
guess that you know what, I'm gonna treat this for the purpose of this discussion like it's true. So what I think that this will probably be, first off, and Tevye is in here right before I mentioned what I was gonna say. This is not
yeah,
gonna be a Superman family game. This
yeah,
is probably because here's the thing: in any universe that requires years of setup. And here's the thing with the way the character is in the comics, he's on his way out. So likely what would happen was this is probably going to be a regular or if this ties into legacy, they could do this to show like Superman's origin because they're not doing that in the movie,
yes,
because that's what they can do. That's actually really, because ultimately, yeah, we don't, that's not really that essential information, because for the most part, we all if there are three characters that I think everyone in the cultural zeitgeist knows the origins for, it's Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. So I think ultimately what they could do, if James Gunn were smart, is say, here's the origin for Corn Sweat Superman.
yep.
If I'm not going to explore that in the game, but I mean the movie, but you know what? Here, if you want to watch that, that's fine. There it is.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
This does look good. Yes, it does. Now the question obviously does remain is that when would I announce it? Obviously, I still believe it's going to be the Video Game Awards this year. I think the reason why I state that is basically because WB Games needs a win. They need two
Yeah,
game announcements.
and,
They
and and
need
here's the thing: with Suicide Squad being what it is, they need two wins with something that they want, that they know the fans want. Because Taladia,
yeah. hmm
the question: what are two games that the fan base has been calling for a long time?
One of them is a Superman game,
Yes.
and
What's the other
another one
one?
another one is another Batman game.
Or Justice League is what I
Yeah,
was thinking. But yeah, the point is they need to announce a game of those things, of those IPs, because that way you start to think, because that way people are more interested in checking it out. And then you can, like, once you build back like some backup, then I think you're good. In other words,
it's it depends on um yo, what's up, Iron
what's up,
Smash,
Iron Man?
Iron Smash webs. Yes, your tweets underneath. Yes,
And that is a really cool avatar picture, bro. Really cool.
yeah. Um, but you know what I was thinking though. I think
Yeah.
I do trust this guy because this guy has given me some details which I can't, which he hasn't made public. Um, but it's like I'm trying to be not as blatantly blow it out and say, like, you know what, I'll give everything in regards to the to his
Mm-hmm.
information. And guys, if you aren't subscribed to Iron Smash Webs, make sure you guys check him out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He did made a video. I did post it on Twitter, so make sure you do check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can understand that. Tevye says I can understand that. Yes. But in regards to like Superman, it's just a hype train. It'll be a hype train for Superman, I think.
Because what I
Just
think that they should do is, first off, don't worry about the costume, or like the underwear. Because what I would do, because conceivably what they could do is, like, for pre-order bonus, you get like a comic book like pack of costumes that like are like Rebirth, New 52, classics, and then the costumes show up in the cutscenes as well. So you don't have to worry about, because at that point the underwear thing is just personal like preference at that point. They,
yeah.
they have the opportunity. See, the opportunity is there. It's just like I always say with DC, they don't take the opportunities when it's there.
What's going on with the company
Yes,
being
there is
so
still a sale, Najee, but for right now, it's. I mean, actually, you know what? Najee makes a good point. Is like, if they, let's say they sell, would
Yeah.
this project survive? Because here's my thinking about this, and I was thinking about it last night.
Yeah.
If the sale happens and with like all the bad press coming out about Zaslav, this is when I don't even see James Gunn surviving the sale, because if the previous regime is failing this much, I can see them going, screw everything Zaslav did, we're undoing it.
Yeah. Like Iron Smash is a good point, right? It's shocking how few DC games we get when all we do is beg for more. Literally, that's what that's what fans want, is more DC games. Um, Pika says alternate costumes are video game stable by now.
Yeah, but I'm saying have it where they also show up in the cutscene. So essentially, the trunks is your own personal preference. That's it. That's what I would do. You can even
Yeah,
have DCEU skins, Snyderverse skins. There's any number of things you could do.
but it's like I said. I think when it comes down to this rumor, like I I do think it might be it's a matter of case of not if but when, because it's like if they go, oh, we are making a Superman game, and this game does come out, does get announced, then this will put the fans into hyperdrive, or hype overdrive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people will be like, you know what, we got something at least different. We're not getting another Arkham game, right? Tevia is saying, after, like, it drives me mad we haven't got a Green Lantern game or a Superman game after Arkham. And Naji, to answer your question, is there talks of for future for WB games, or for all the IPs? Now here's the thing with the IPs, which I'll discuss towards the end of the stream, because I think that is something we're gonna get to at the end. We're just talking about the Superman game in a minute. Part of what people complained about is about getting Suicide Squad is that the last game we got is like one DC game every 3 years. So people wanted it to be something else. Yes, like people wanted it to be something else, and I think logically, if because with the Superman hype, people talking about, oh, Superman movie coming up, James Gunn want to connect it to universe, interconnected universe. Furthermore, it's like it does make sense that they would push a Superman game now than ever before. Plus, as well, there's no excuse from Warner Brothers not to, you know, because there's an Invincible game in production.
Yes, I am so down for that. First off, the mobile game is actually really fun, but I want that Invincible AAA style game. Can you imagine? That's gonna be dope.
Exactly. This is now why Warner Brothers um you know um this is why WB needs to um focus more on IPs like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, get those IPs out. We got a couple of questions here. Firstly, from Tevia, question: if Cell does happen, does this Zaslav plan with live service game will be KO out of existence?
Not necessarily. Maybe. Here's the thing. Actually, you know what? Tevia makes a good point, because if the sale does happen to like any other company, and seeing how Zaslav has failed, I would say so. It's just the problem, Tevi, is that live service. The thing with the live service game is that that's an industry wide thing. It's not like it's just a David Zaslav thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why do you think? Because these game companies see Fortnite and Call of Duty that make lots of money because of live service, and then they want to copy that.
Exactly. Um, but it's another thing too is where is it? So we got another question. Is there an excuse why you can't apply different character playstyles from the Lego DC games onto other DC games? Is a logical issue or a legal issue?
Is there an excuse why you can't apply the different character? different
So,
characters from the Lego game on other. What do you mean by that, Pika?
uh, Zeke says, I think WB is focusing on multiverses currently. Zeke, we're just like multiverse comes out in May, so obviously they're gonna push that game out. But if you remember, Zeke, we still got the Wonder Woman game still, to get released footage. So I think we're gonna get footage for Summer Game Fest for that. That's inevitable. I think we're gonna get footage for Wonder Woman at Summer Game Fest because
Mm-hmm.
WB Montreal is actually helping them with that. And then at the end of the year, we'll get two DC games announced. We know that Fable's Wolf Among Us Season 2, that's also another thing that might be a Summer Game Fest too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Iron Smash Web says the Invincible game is confirmed to be multiplayer, which is interesting, and it's going
Multiplayer
to make,
only?
I don't know, that's what he's saying. It's going to make many people mad. True, that is an industry-wide problem with live service, not just one company. I'm also curious what villains this rumor Superman game would be. Now, I did ask him the rumor. I did ask the leaker about the villain. The likely scenario it could be Brainiac. It could be Brainiac. Considering. Um,
Yeah, because here's the thing. When it comes to like a villain that works for a video game, Brainiac is a very like video gamey villain. The problem is, I mean, Suicide Squad came out and flopped with Brainiac.
uh, Randy says, if you ask me, DC problem is they always put the cart before the horse.
Yeah,
Before the horse, they rush into things with no real plan. I was randomly playing Lego DC Villains Pika said the other day. You can swap characters who have similar and different playing styles, from flyers to speedsters and tech
I see what you're
characters.
talking about. Probably like budgetary reasons. That's why if you notice like a lot of the that's one of the main reasons why a lot of the Suicide Squad people play the same in terms of shooting because that's cheaper to make.
Yeah. Iron Smash says it's in the announcement made as well as years of DLC and expansions. I don't know if it's only multiplayer. That's what he means for Invincible
Mm-hmm.
game. Pika says, why can't you apply that to other games outside of Lego? Because
Because
it's
the
a
Lego's
cheat.
cheaper, dude.
Yeah, Lego is cheaper. So Tevia saying Mixie Picklick could also work for Superman game.
No. No. Too expensive, Tevia. There's no way they can make that work.
They're not. I mean, they're not that clever to make Mixie like the next Riddler, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're not that clever to do that.
No, they're not.
But I'll say this, right? With Warner Brother Games, um, with Warner Brother Games, Montreal, they've been actively working on two games. One of them was indeed a single player game. That is something we know due to job listings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and another one is um, we don't know what the second one is. It could be
Mm-hmm.
multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this though, it depends on where would you put this Superman game? If this is a Superman game, where would you put this in the timeline, so to say? I would say 2026 is a good bet. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think releasing it at that window would um would be really cool, and this will get people excited because it's a solo game. It's not a multiplayer game like Gotham Knights was.
Mm-hmm.
And plus there's like it's a flying game too. Like there's flying mechanics in the game. It's not going to be like boring.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Tevia, they're not gonna do Mr. Oz as the villain because that requires two. That's not a one villain. That's not a one game villain. Think of villains that could be one game. I know you
yeah,
want to see a Superman rebirth in a video game, and that's not going to happen because the comic flopped.
yeah. Najee saying, what's your thoughts on WB Games delisting Wild Swim games off Steam? What does it mean for other WB games going forward?
I have no
Like
idea.
we have no idea on that, Najee. I have no idea what does this mean for the other WB games going forward. Like, I have no clue on that. But I'll say this: villains I'd like to see is obviously Doomsday, Brainiac, Calabac, Darkseid.
They
Um,
could.
I would also like to see Brimstone, Livewire. Those characters would be cool to
Livewire they
see.
could do, which is why I said two villains. The other villain again, Eradicator. Again, you're picking villains that will require multiple games to set up. Again, Superman Rebirth doesn't work because those villains require setup. Randy says, "How about Metallo?" That could work for one. You could make it so like Lex Luthor is like the main villain of the game, but then you bring in Metallo.
Yeah, Metallo isn't a main villain though. He's more of a side villain character. Yeah,
Well, yeah, he's the side villain. The main villain is Lex.
yeah. I think like characters like Livewire, uh,
Parasite,
Parasite.
because you can't just punch him. You have to do other stuff to fight him.
Those would be really cool side missions, and I think that would make an interesting video game to
Mm-hmm.
have it implemented into that. Uh, what about in Hell?
Oh, hell from the new 52. Again, Tevia, stop picking villains that could be that need multiple things to set up. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Plus, do you really want another Kryptonian?
no. It Mind you, this game, no matter what the case is, this game would definitely be up there. In regards to in regards to being the worst kept secret of all time,
Mm-hmm.
if it is a Superman game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on, like I'll say I've said this time and time again. Like Warner Brothers are incapable of keeping leaks from breaking out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Superman Revenge Squad is an allied group of villains. That's good if they. That's good if they do like a trilogy worth of games, and like
Games, yeah,
that's good for the last one, so you can link in every one of those people were in there. I was thinking, what about the Conduit, who is a Kryptonian but a human with kryptonite, and Clark Kent's best friend turned villain. Again, you still need to set that up. I don't think the Conduit would work.
I hope and
Plus,
pray that. Go on.
here's the thing, Tavia. Think about villains that people would show up to watch. No one's going to show up to watch the Conduit. Yeah, why Arc Knight? He fights big threats on a daily basis. That's what you have, like
Yes,
Brainiac, Metallo. That's why you have to pick the
Doomsday.
villains that people outside of the comic group have heard of. Because ultimately, again, I say this again, they're not going primarily for the comic book people when they're making a game and or movie. They are going
Yeah,
for the general audience, and the general audience only knows a few Superman villains.
exactly. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see where this rumor goes. I mean, I have asked him today, like, do you have any more information? He has nothing more. There's not been any updates that he has shared with me yet, but
Mm-hmm.
he will let me know on that front.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say that this was kind of like a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But if people like Casey Walsh is saying there's a Superman game in development, you had people like James Siegfield talk about Superman game in development because of job listings,
Mm-hmm.
and then furthermore, like now you've got this guy talking about it. It's like where is what why like Warner Brothers hasn't really shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tech He says technically War villains Lex Luthor, Zod, Viola, and Nom are technically that's
No
about
one
it.
knows who Nam is. No one knows who Nam is.
To be fair, the main villain for Arkham Knight was literally not from the comics, so
But it
no.
was still scare. No, it was Scarecrow.
Like Scarecrow was the main.
Scarecrow was the main villain, and then they brought in the see what Arkham Knight did, which was the good thing to do, and this is why I say make like Lex Luthor the main villain and have like Metal or Parasite be there, because Scarecrow is the villain that people know because of at least the Nolan movies. Then you bring in a basically Red Hood, and then it's like because people are showing up to fight Scarecrow, then they're like, oh, who's this mask wielding gunman?
It's it all depends on where Warner Brothers, where I see Warner Brothers, how they tackle things. But like I said, I think to be fair, I think Lex would be probably be the main villain. I think for this
Hmm.
Superman game, I think if I was genuinely, playing a Superman game, I'd say, look, have Lex be the main villain, and that way they could do an origin story if they needed to be, right?
Hmm.
Now I talked about this with Sil a few days ago, right?
Hmm.
And somebody in the chat said, "Why, if this is going to be set in the DCU, why not do origin story? Where Superman is getting his powers or whatever, and
Hmm.
that could set up JV Concert Superman
Yeah,
movie,
exactly. Don't
right?
uh, Tevia, don't mention the Bendis thing.
Uh,
Telltale. I mean, maybe that's an interesting idea for it to be like a choose your own adventure Superman game. That would be interesting. But GDI's latest comment is me right now. I don't trust WB with anything. No.
the the thing is though, GDI, it's like Warner Brothers right now are looking to make money. They
Hmm.
aren't looking to say, okay, you know what,
Or
let's
what they
make,
think will make them money, to be
y-
clear.
yeah, or what will make them money, yeah. It's just that, after the recent failures with Suicide Squad and Gotham, well, I wouldn't say Gotham Knights a failure, but it didn't flop, but it made its money back. It's just like they will see Wonder Woman make a lot of money and they'll just go, we need to do more solo games,
Hmm.
right? That's what they'll say. They're not gonna go like, oh well, we're gonna make more multiplayer games because it's not gonna work out.
Hmm.
Superman is stronger when focus on his personal drama.
To a degree, I do agree with you on that. Sometimes, if they want to make money, they would have given Zach a copy. Well, yeah, they would have they would have told Zack Snyder, complete your story. That's what would have
Yeah,
happened if they really wanted money.
but this is Zasloff, but
Which is
yeah,
hilarious because the dude runs on money.
yeah. Um, Tev, saying, I'm hoping that a Wonder Woman game turns out to be good. Honestly, if I was if I was David Zaslav, I would show gameplay at Summer Game Fest for that game.
Yeah,
I
you
would
need
show.
to show something for Wonder Woman.
It's been 3 years, and like there was a report like talking about the Wonder Woman game, right?
Hmm.
And apparently there's going to be an update for the Nemesis system for the Wonder Woman
Ooh,
game.
that's gonna
Apparently,
be pretty cool.
so I'll be making a video about that. So we'll be talking about that in a video, and that'll be pretty cool to discuss. But back to Superman, though, I think he needs a game. There's no like two questions. If another studio like Skybound is making an Invincible game, you got no excuse now not to make one.
Hmm.
Um, that be thing. Uh, GDI says I want a DCPD game the style of LA Noir.
That's a great idea. Like a Gotham City cop game.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
cool.
fantastic. That's a great idea.
I'm surprised Zaslav has done nothing with with DC games to have
Well,
more
again,
games.
he was banking on Suicide Squad. That's the problem with Zaslav. He's banking on the wrong bets because remember when he was telling us that The Flash is like the best DC movie ever and that James Gunn was on a mission from God?
Hmm.
I hope that would be cool. That would be a kind of cool dialogue choice. Or they could have it where like because he's a reporter, he has to put together stories and they can like take like the detective style gameplay segments from like Gotham Knights and do that.
Tevia says I personally would love the people who made Uncharted games to make Superman games
They're not
similar
going to
to.
do that though because that's not
Uh, that's
Warner
not
Brothers is
in-house.
sticking to subsidiaries of WB.
They're doing to in-house only. So this is why like this rumor is coming, and it's about WB Games Montreal. This isn't going to be oh a Flash game or something. There hasn't been anything on a Flash game. Would you believe?
I wish that. Well, I hope at one point that changes. I highly doubt they actually thought Flash was good. They were just trying. Well, yeah, but I'm saying
Yeah,
Zaslav puts a lot of his support behind the wrong crap.
yeah. Alan Wake boardroom section.
Yeah, exactly. For like the whole like putting a story together like thing.
But this game though, it's like I would like to see a Grant Morrison run involved in this game.
New 52, baby.
Either
Because
either
if
New
you
52 or
notice,
All Star.
well, here's the thing. It's not going to be All Star, I guarantee you, because All Star is the end of Superman. Yeah, I'm sure he's taking elements from All Star, but here's the interesting thing, Taladia.
Yeah,
One of the comics that James Gunn specifically pointed out as being an inspiration for Legacy was the Morrison run of New 52 Superman. So that could be
yeah,
he just goes, that's the origin. Because you know what's kind of funny? That works for this version of Superman because this version of Superman's younger.
yes.
Zack Snyder clearly doesn't understand Watchmen or Dark Knight Returns. Yeah, he does. He does. He does.
But it's like I'll say like James Gunn's like if I was in James Gunn's shoe, I would straight up do a announcement for a Superman game. I would double down on that. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
that would be something I would not say. Look, I'm not gonna touch games. You basically said that in a video saying, look, you know what, we're gonna have games connected to movies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if people want to explore the Superman world, and like
It
um
does. Uh, because he did understand the Dark Knight Returns because we got that representation. And in terms, ignore the haters, guys. Don't get with. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm ignoring it.
um in
I have to learn
terms
how to
of
do that.
uh if I was in WB Games shoes, I'd be like, okay, we get this Superman game announced, connected to the DCU. David Zaslav will say, look, you know what? This game is gonna make $1 billion, right? It'll be the next Batman Arkham, so to say, right?
Yeah.
And it does, right? It makes $1 billion. What do you do next? You
Hmm.
continue on that trend.
Probably. I would see how the Wonder Woman game it does, because if the Wonder Woman game also does well, then yeah, to your point earlier, Taladi, I would start with solo projects and like maybe do one more Justice Leaguer who isn't Batman, maybe Green Lantern, and then think about can we bring them together for a Justice League game?
What's your thoughts on if WBD got sold? You think David Zaslav will be gone, or what the future
Yep,
calls for?
he's
Yeah,
gone.
he's
If
gone.
it's sold, he's gone because even if he's not, even if he wants to stay, I guarantee you the new owners, when you look at the stock price of WB, they're going to be like, get out of here. And then again, this is why, honestly, if this is sold, unless James Gunn has a solid plan, I don't think that you could that like they're gonna keep James Gunn around. Geek Defense Force has a good one. Also, Jared's gonna love this. A choice system will allow you to choose whether or not to. If yep, it's always gonna be Wonder Woman. Always gonna be Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think they would fire him, and then honestly, if they fire him, I guarantee you they start undoing a lot of his choices, including Gunn. I'm think, and before you say, Jared, they wouldn't do that. We literally saw it happen when Discovery bought Warner Brothers.
yeah.
We're seeing a repeat of what happened last time. Yes, Green Lantern would in the style of like Mass Effect, where it's like a role playing game. For me,
You
always
know,
low. For me, always lowest, but that's where we have it. Yep, exactly. You know, if it's a choice based system, that works because you can have your own different playthroughs. That's fine.
yeah. Which company do you think will buy Warner Brothers to fix the games division? Now that's a very good question.
To Tevia, they're not going to buy or WB just to fix the game division.
To, the game division would be sold off, but it'd be a separate thing.
Yeah, no company is going to buy Warner Brothers for specifically for the video games.
Yeah. Iron Smashers, I doubt they would, because it's probably the only good thing they.
Don't be so sure, dude. Don't be so sure, because we literally saw it happen last time.
Yeah, like Walter Hamad.
Because here's
Don't
the
play the
thing.
clip. Do not play the
Here,
clip.
no, I'm not. Here's the thing. Iron. When you take over a company, you replace all the people in charge with the people that you want to run the company. Unless Gunn really wows them, let me put it this way, the sale would probably happen after Superman comes out. So really, it depends on if Superman does well. Because if Superman doesn't do what they wanted to make, he will be gone. Plus, his contract is done when Superman comes out, because they'll probably say, we're not going to renew your contract.
GDI says, and the
Yes.
choices from one game they could alter following the Witcher.
Or Mass Effect. Yeah, that's a great idea. You can import your choices. That would be cool.
Terry says, heck, here's the idea. I would like a DC Universe game similar to Baldur's Gate 3, because that company for
Okay.
DC would be amazing.
Here, no, okay, Tavia, you're just applying your favorite game companies to DC. That's not going to happen.
I've
And
been
just
playing
because a
Awkward.
game system works for that doesn't mean it's going to work here. Gun has an amazing track record, so I honestly have faith in them seeing this. Even if, no, dude, trust me, this is the way companies work. You like this way. If I bought a company, let's say Teladia and Neck from the Phoenix Press and Jay Heat and I are in there. But by the way, when Discovery bought Warner Brothers, even the people that knew what they were doing were shown the door. So just because he knows what, just because he has an amazing track record doesn't necessarily mean that, because again, the problem is that he's controversial on the internet because he's constantly arguing with people. And then you have, he's hired by Zaslav. Again, Zaslav is effectively making it so when the person buys Warner Brothers, they don't want to do anything associated with Zaslav, because he has the Zaslav stink, in other words.
Mind you, Zaslav is the middle person where he's like, okay, you know what? If I sell off the company, I make that money back.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee of him staying in that position. He could probably get a different role, but he wouldn't have enough more power than he has now.
Mm-hmm. Iron Smasher, James the Good Peacemaker. Oh, you mean the show where he literally told the star, "Don't read the comics"?
Anyway,
if he's so good, he should be able to adapt a comic accurate Peacemaker. Companies don't care about politics most of the Dude, we literally saw it with Warner Brothers being bought by Discovery.
Right. Let's bring it back a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's talk about let's talk about the Superman game, right? Because I think this is
I'm sorry, Teladia. You know how I get. You know how I get.
Yes, I think it's getting out of control. But anyway, let's bring it back to the Superman game, right? Because I think that's because the topic of the stream is about the Superman game.
Of course,
Rumour.
of course.
iLoki says, just give me another Marvel Omega type of game.
Is that the game that was like an MMO?
Yeah, type of MMO game. Yeah.
Well, they have that. It's called DC Online.
No, but it got shut down.
No, but I mean, DC has an MMO.
No. I think he's talking about another Marvel game.
No, he said type game.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Superman does not have enough of an MMO, enough characters for an MMO to work. But I see what you're saying there. That's cool. Actually, Tevia has a good point for the Superman game. Speaking of genres, what genre do you want for the Superman game? Because personally, for me, action adventure type would be fun, but Superman would actually work for me. Okay, in terms of genre, actually, that's a good question. Actually, you know what? I've talked enough. You should a lot of you. Go ahead. You know how I get people challenge me.
Yeah, I think that this should be an action adventure game, right?
Yeah.
An action adventure game. in the gameplay style, I would do a brawler type Superman game with choices. So every decision you make, it does come with consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the story. So there's consequences for every action you do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think action adventure game would work though for Superman.
Yeah, for Superman, yeah, that's about the only genre I could see working for Superman because of the way it is. Like, essentially the way like God of War and a lot of those games are. That's essentially Superman. That would essentially be the way to make that work. Oh, by the way, Najee asks, also, I tested out other Batman Arkham games on Steam Deck, and what's your thoughts on this? And imagine playing the Superman game on portable PC gaming. Well, I mean, I don't know what you're asking in terms of our thoughts on playing them on that. Fine. I mean, if that works, fine. I mean, I don't know what you want the opinion for, but switch genres depending on whether you're playing it. That's a good one.
Yes. That idea I like. I like the idea GDI. Um Speaking of Marvel game, we talk about Punisher open world vigilante game.
Oh yes. Except actual vigilante and not the James Gunn. In other words, comic accurate vigilante.
And set it in the 70s, of course.
Yeah, that would be super fun. I would love
Here's
to.
what I would set the Superman game. You know what um um area? Not
Mm-hmm.
area. What's it called?
Genre.
Not genre. So like 70s, 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh, time period.
yeah, time period. That's it. That time period. I would set it either 19 sorry, the 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
or set it in the 1990s.
But the thing is like, uh, Wise says, imagine saying not trusting Warner Brothers from anything and still buying Warner Brothers products,
Yeah.
whatever. So, I mean, in terms of like what genre, in terms of timeline, see, I see what you're going with, and that works. Especially if they're tying into the DCU. The problem is it's like, actually, you know what? Actually, that could work. Actually, now that I think about it, that could actually work. And actually, that's GDI is a good one. I would set it in the 80s and 90s.
Okay. To homage the character Rebirth post crisis.
Yeah.
Ugh. Rebirth, I hate that.
Well,
Rebirth.
well, yeah. By the way, can I address one comment here?
Yeah.
You should care if it's even minor characters, because here's the thing. If you allow these people to constantly change minor characters, eventually they come for the major characters. It is a slippery slope, my friend. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, yeah, in terms of like the time period that works, you could also do like 2011 or so, make a new 52. I'm just saying. I'm just
And
saying. If
and
we're talking about
you could
time
do,
periods.
I mean you could do a mixture of that actually. You could have New 52 post crisis. You could combine them together, and no, we're not gonna have what Tevye wants, which is Rebirth. No, we're not gonna have that.
No.
But just do what how Zack Snyder did it, but have that like period piece where Superman in that time period. No, Tevia, you're not saying it in 2016. I just said that.
No. No. No.
I just said that we're
They're
not having
not
it.
going to set it in Rebirth because Rebirth failed as a publishing initiative.
New 52 sold well. New 52 sold well, but it
Save the
comes.
company, mind you, because DC was going to get shut down. And the care when I say shut down, I don't mean that we wouldn't get Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman comics anymore. What I mean is that the company DC would be shut down, and then the comics would be licensed out to other companies like Image and like IDW.
Dark
The reason why
Horse.
we have DC now is because of the new 52, because AT&T told them, fix your sales or you're done.
Yeah. This is why right now they're doing this like Elseworld thing that got planned up with Scott Snyder,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I just had a thought, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
What if they, because if Scott Snyder is gonna have his Elseworld thing, imagine a design based on that, a skin based on him.
Scott Snyder one. I mean,
No, 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 no. Remember the Absolute Universe?
oh, yeah, they could do that as a promotion because that's what they could do. That's what Avengers did, and that's like what they could even do with Suicide Squad when they release a new like comic initiative, like a new suit, put that in the game.
Yeah.
That's a
Uh,
terrific idea. I like that.
GDI saying Clark Eleanor gameplay loop with Alan Wake 2 boardroom mechanics. Superman entire compromised of God of War scale boss fights.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, in terms of scale, I would love God of War scale boss fights. Oh, because here's the thing, because I recently started watching through some gameplay for God of War. Yeah, a lot of that works for like the God. See, that
God
could
level.
only work for certain DC characters, like even Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, to a degree, Aquaman, Superman. Abso-freaking-lutely, that could work.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, when it comes down to Warner Brothers, it depends on how they announce this game. I think this game is going to get announced regardless as VGAs, and we will get gameplay next year. I think the because the game has to come out in 2026, 2027.
Mm-hmm.
For WB Games Montreal, they're not going to have like a 9-year delay like they did with Gotham Knights.
They can't. Well, here's the thing. At least to a degree, they gave us information because we know next to nothing about Wonder Woman.
Like literally, there's nothing on the Wonder Woman game, but it's like there is like articles out there that talking about maybe they're changing up the system for the game. We do know
Mm-hmm.
that WB Games Montreal is helping Monolith with the Wonder Woman game, so that may be the reason why it'd be pushed on more along than mo- than what we've seen. And yes, DC has got a plethora of other IPs also in production, like The Wolf Among Us, Part Two, and you also got like obviously the Wonder Woman game. We got multiverses, but they need AAA games announced. They haven't got anything yet. Anything related to that. Yes, we also did have the pandemic. Yes, I do not realize
Mm-hmm.
that for video games. Yes, we did.
Superman
Uh,
for all seasons. They could take elements from that.
yes,
That
they could.
for particularly doing an origin, and they want to talk about the Smallville part. They could do that. Isn't I do not want turn-based. No,
No,
I hate turn-based games. Whenever I see a game that interests me, then I find out it's a turn-based game, I run the opposite direction, which is why I don't get a lot of Warhammer games. But no, particularly for Superman, yeah, that ain't gonna work. The God of War system will work.
yeah, the God of War system would work, but it's it's like I said, it, it all depends on where you would put the Wonder Woman game, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, let me put it this way: let me put it this way: the Wonder Woman game needs to be a win. It definitely needs a win. But
Yeah, but after the Wonder Woman game, I think it has to be Superman.
yeah, mm-hmm.
There's no like, oh, we can't make a Superman game. It has to be,
If
right?
they can make that one, if that Wonder Woman game is successful, they have literally no excuse now.
Yeah, they've got no excuse. And watch the Wonder Woman game make a billion, you know, $1 billion
Or
in
sell like extremely well. Uh, Iron Sparrow says, I think he says, I doubt Wonder Woman wouldn't succeed just because of the fact that it's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's the most popular, really, because she took a bit of a hit with 1984.
but
If
but
this one
Giant,
2017, I would agree with you, Iron Smash Web.
you called him Iron Man. I can't believe you called him Iron Man.
I know because I saw Irons and then MA, so I was like, okay, Iron Man. But I was like, okay, let me reread this.
Yeah,
And nope. At this point, can we have a Wonder Woman story taking place in modern day,
It will
please?
be set in the modern days. It is going to be set in the modern days. It's not going to be set in World War Two.
Hmm.
Um, so I'll say this before we wrap up and everything, because it's coming up to the hour mark, and we know that myself and Jared are going to be doing a watch party for Rebel Moon. If you guys got any final questions about the Superman game Rumor, put them in the chat. Um, we can
Even
put
then, she's still the most popular female superhero.
to
Okay,
a degree.
yeah, but in
To a
terms of
degree.
again, you're thinking about this from a comic book fan and not from a general audience member, because the general audience, their most recent memory of Wonder Woman is 1984 and or The Flash
So
or Shazam.
So if you guys got any final questions, put them in the chat. I can answer those questions in regards to the rumor, what I've been told for the game. From the rumor, like not besides the public one, like I can tell you just a tiny bit of detail that isn't public. Like for example, the game was in public. For example, the game has been in development since 2019. That is something I do know for a fact because WB Games has indeed. Uh, wait, wait, what?
Indeed, what?
But hey, Teladia, its kingdom.
Don't need it's to flash on screen or anything, but hey, tell it's
Oh,
kingdom.
okay, oh, okay, okay. I know who it is. I know who it
Okay.
is. Okay, okay. I know who you are. I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure who you were. I wasn't too sure who you were, but I know who you are now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I know where you're from. Question for general audience and general audience type of marketing. Do you think this Superman game needs to succeed, and what type of gameplay for this game is going to be? This game
Well,
needs to succeed regardless, right? For the IP, the character needs to be a success.
mhm. I
Wait,
mean, in terms of marketing, just market the game starting as soon as you have something to market. That's it. Don't pull a Wonder Woman.
yeah,
At least release a documentary of like the process of making the game. You don't even have to show you're working on it.
I think, but I think when it comes down to uh, a Superman game, marketing, I would announce it end of this year. Then don't say anything for about 6 months, six to 8 months. Then at Summer Game Fest next year or Gamescom next year, that's when you start pushing out more footage for that game,
Hmm.
right? And that would be a good marketing strategy by Warner Brothers because then you have that opportunity for people to say, oh well, there's a Superman movie coming out. Okay,
Hmm.
what's next? We got a Superman game. Okay, cool. Where's the gameplay going to be? And then we got Gamescom, and then there, boom, you've got your gameplays there and then, and then they'll give a release date.
Particularly since this is like supposedly been worked on since 2019.
Yeah,
They need to at least announce the game and like give like a logo or a suit. Treat this like a movie. That's really important because really this is very important for DC right now because they have been getting L after L after L in terms of DC.
yeah, yeah. Games has been announced way too early in the past few years. Here's the thing, though, most of these games were in development from 2017, 2018, right?
Or were
Suicide
massively delayed.
or massively delayed. Like Suicide Squad was delayed 4 years uh before that game came out.
Hmm.
Um, Arc 9 is saying it's a non it's a non Superman origin story. So James Gunn take inspiration from Superman for all season makes sense.
Hmm.
Tevye says also they also need a win for DC games with Superman 4 years ago. Time flies.
Hmm.
Yeah, time does fly. And like I said, it's not one of those things where you go, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna make AAA games with none of the top characters. You're gonna have to.
Hmm.
Games take way longer to now multi-year deal.
Well, the other thing is like games take up too much damn space on the hard drive. I'm pretty sure you can compress this stuff.
Yeah. So I'm Iron Smash Web saying games like take way longer now. Play multi-year pandemic means huge delays. Yes, that is true. That is true. But because considering this game has been recently worked on from I would say from 2022 or
Hmm
2021, 2022,
They
I
have
can
enough.
see
They have enough to at least put something out.
yeah, they have enough then to have something announced. That is something I can see that being the case because you can't just say, okay, well we have a Wonder Woman game and then there's nothing for it like after
Hmm
that.
Exactly.
Because next year is a big there's a big gap next year if you don't know, like Jared, it's like there's no release date for the Wonder Woman game. So if there's a release date for the Wonder Woman game, that way it's secure. It keeps fans at bay. But when it comes down to Superman, it's like okay, you do an announcement this year, you show footage next year, and then you get a release for the year after. It's like it's a very good marketing strategy because David, if you remember, David Zaslav said in an interview, like there's if there's a movie coming out, it takes a couple of years before we actually get a triple A game, right? A
hmm
triple A a triple A game to come out
hmm
before because they want people to explore that world. Case in point, like the Hogwarts Legacy game, literally was in development years before the Fantastic Beasts film came out,
hmm
right? But it still came out a couple of years after that film was released.
Yeah.
And yes, I know the Wolverine game was announced same time as Spider-Man 2, but
Yeah, I understand that, and by the way, I'm still not defending that either. I'm just saying, I see it's irrelevant if other games have done in the past. It's a stupid practice if you announce a game and then go radio silent for many years. At least show us you're working on saying, "Oh my gosh, we got this. This is so cool. See, our developers are hard at work."
yeah, it's like you can't. It's like keep us in the dark. Like that is something. That is
At
something.
least what they should do. Here's what they should do.
Go on.
James Gunn's Superman movie comes out and then announce the Superman game. Because that way, at least Superman is trending.
That. I mean, you could do that, but you remember you need a 2-year market window for a game.
Mm-hmm. That's
Think
true. But again, I'm saying like, I'm saying like, if it's been worked on for so long, they no doubt at least announce it. At least say, hey, there's a Superman game coming out.
like yeah. I mean, yeah, you got a Superman game announcement, but it's like if I was in their shoes, I'd be like, I'll go a little Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Incept. Uh, I don't know what that is. I agree. It's dumb just saying that don't expect anything, even if it would make sense. Iron Smash Gaming is sorry, Iron Smash Web is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, heck, when the Dark Knight was coming out, we got a trailer for Batman Arkham Asylum,
Exactly.
and it was so cool and super hyped.
Mm-hmm.
See, when Arkham Asylum came out, this was like 2009. They had a demo in uh, I believe they had a demo in early 2008, 2009. I remember that before the game was released, but they don't do demos anymore. Um, oh crap! Got a little Inception on Superman movie leak footage of the game on some random TV in the movie that the viewer may or may not spot on be or may not spot. Okay, so something like how Into the Spider Verse was, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
So if, like, for example, there's a Superman movie coming out, right? And the first thing you do, like the first thing you see is a Superman video game in that universe, right? Oh, there's a
Yeah,
character.
particularly going off of that, what you could do, particularly if it's tying into the DCU, put a trailer for it at the end of the post credit scene.
You could do that just to get people just to remember there is a Superman game coming out. You could do that.
Exactly. Just
Um,
that way you maximize the amount of highs that could be on this, as opposed to just dumping a picture on Twitter.
Yeah, because I think at this point there's no denying that WB Games, d- no denying that WB Games knows how to make a single player game. Um, it's just that this rumor has been going on for years, like I would say decades.
Hmm.
We're going like from 2013, 2014. I remember 2013, 2014, they did try an attempt when Man of Steel was coming out. They did try a Superman game back then. And now it's like, okay, well, we're gonna try it again,
I
right?
mean, the last Superman game we actually had was Superman Returns, which
Yes,
had
that
some good
was
ideas.
yes, it was some good ideas, but it's at the same time, it's like
Yeah, but Iron's Iron. What I mean is that just put like a trailer or like an announcement for the Superman game somewhere associated with the movie, like in the theater, because that way the people that are supposedly going to make this movie successful will you have if it's a lot of people, you want to maximize the amount of eyes on your product.
yeah, definitely. So only time will tell.
Hmm.
Like if this rumor is is true,
Hmm.
but I was gonna say that I'm also doing something special today, so let me just do this real quick.
Cool, cool, cool.
Um, all right, so we got membership time. So we're doing 5 gifted memberships, and here we go. Whoever gets memberships, you're lucky. You get five now. You get five more in 5 minutes. So if you want a member, hit that join button.
Hey, Brucifer got one.
Yeah, Brucifer got one. Mama Bear got one. Jeffrey Miller got one. The comic book burrito got one. And Bruno Galladino also got one. Congratulations to all of you that got memberships. Anyway, so here's what before we wrap up. Here's what I believe the Superman game should, what the trailer should entail. You have Kal-El saying something, doing a voiceover,
Mm-hmm.
and you know you know who it teases?
Who?
It teases Brainiac in the trailer.
Okay, you could do that. You could do that.
Pika, you're already a member anyway. So
Yeah. So
anyway, Jared, like, what would you think this trailer should entail? Like, if it was indeed
at
a Superman
least like have like, hey, what's up, Ruthie?
game? Hey, Ruth.
Essentially, what you could do.
And yes, you've got your wrench here. I know you say
Yep.
you didn't get your wrench. Yes, there's your wrench.
Essentially, what you could do for like in order to announce it, you could have like,
Whoa!
and Brucifer gifted 5 memberships. Nice, Brucifer.
Zeke was gifted a membership. Anthony was gifted a membership.
Tevia was
Gifted,
gifted one.
gifted. Yes, Tevia has got gifted membership. Let's go. No problem.
So what I would do is, yeah, tease Brainiac, or at least have it go like, let's see how it began, or like, because if this is gonna be a prequel, we're gonna see Superman's origin. You could see that, or like just. I mean, you don't have to like even hint at the story. Just have it like it's a post credit scene. You have a pre-rendered cutscene with like maybe Lex Luthor um does something that hints at the story of the main villain, and then it just says Superman for blank systems.
Yeah, I think in terms of the Superman, release window. Don't announce the release window yet.
No, don't announce it, but just say, "Hey, we have a Superman game in development."
Yeah, at least say something like that, right? That's something. Uh, you
That's
know,
what happened.
um, that's
Hmm.
what happens. But I was gonna say, Jared, is like obviously Summer Game Fest is right around the corner. We're like about 2 months away. June is like really coming up. Obviously, I'm going to be doing a reaction stream for that. So there will be reaction streams happening on the Teladia Plays channel. Sorry, reaction videos, reaction stream, but it'll be on the Twitch channel and not on YouTube because YouTube does copyright claim a lot of things when it comes down to live streaming Summer Game Fest. So I won't be doing it on the YouTube. I'll be on Twitch and
Hmm.
on Kick, and maybe on the MME channel. And it will be myself. I'll be doing it via StreamYard, so I can't wait to do that. Anyway, yes, reaction videos. Yes, that's another thing. I am going to be doing a reaction video, by the way, just to announce this right now. Is I'm going to be doing a reaction video to My Adventure with Superman
Oh boy.
trailer when season 2 trailer when that drops. So when that
Oh
drops,
boy.
I'll be doing a reaction video. But when the episodes do drop, me and Jared are gonna do exactly what we did like last year, where we're gonna react to each episode.
Hmm.
And yes, we're gonna see Jared's face drop when they mention the Council of Loser Lanes is on
Yeah,
repeat.
exactly.
Jared's face just goes, it just drops. Anyway, so Jared, because we're coming up to the end now, let them know what you're coming up in your channel and let them know what exactly you got coming content wise and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
So you can find me at Comics League JT, Comics League 2020 on Instagram. And then in terms of what content we're doing, obviously tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a live watch party and reaction to Rebel Moon Part 2 Scargiver, which is going to be dope. This Monday, Britt and I are talking about a Super Lane. No, Brucifer. Today, on Monday, Britt and I are going to be talking about the Wonder Woman storyline, Spirit of Truth, which is drawn by Alex Ross. You're going to see some Alex Ross work. And for those that don't know who Alex Ross is, somehow he drew Kingdom Come. And in terms of other content, for Under Two Capes, we're going to be talking about where the boys went wrong in terms of an adaptation. So there you go.
Yeah. Now, as for me, guys, obviously I'm doing the reaction, stream with Jared later on for the Rebel Moon stuff. After that, the Wonder Woman video is coming up next week. I'm going to be posting that up. I believe Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to get that out because this weekend I'm going to be working on it. Editing and talking about it in a video. Of the new article or whatnot, which we're going over it. Also, Snyder fans read comics. That's another thing that's coming back. We're going to be doing
Yes.
Justice League issue 11 with
Mm-hmm.
Jared and I as we discuss the comic at hand of the new 52 Justice League run by Jeff Johns and Jim Lee. So
Yep.
we'll be talking about that. And obviously, Jared, I'll be on Jared's channel for the Arkham stream next week, and also the other two capes and all that good stuff. Uh, but guys, like I said, if you guys got gifted membership, thanks to make sure you say thank you to Brucifer for the gifted memberships, and also guys, do make sure you have notifications on because when I live stream that I do next or a video that I do, you will be notified for those types of video content. Um, in terms of um, in terms of like if you're watching this as a VOD, put your questions in the comment section below. I will answer those questions for you if you're watching this later as a VOD, and I'll be sure to answer them in regards to the Superman game for what I know, like in terms of um, how long this game been in development, uh, what um, other things like job listings. I can talk about the job listing because that's public knowledge. Um, yes, Tevia, we're going to be covering Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 2 on the podcast and Into the Multiverse. So we'll be covering that on Into the Multiverse. So on that note, Jared, you have the final say on every episode. So let's do this. Final say.
Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs with General Zod, Maxabat for life, and Zois for life.
All right. And on that note, I'm out, guys. And remember, you know, this if you want a nerd, what are you?
Dweeb. Dweeb.
Love that. That's good.
All right. On that note, we're out. Peace out, everybody, and have a wonderful evening, night. Make sure you like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.